angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth of stone or ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Howdy folks, I told you I would shoot a video on doing the wicking on my electronic cigarette. Now, I had made a video roughly going over making my own juice for it, and this is going to be a video of just replacing the wicks and, you know, changing out flavors. I'm not going to change out the coils because I changed them not that long ago and they work beautiful. So, you know, don't fix something that ain't broke. So when I do need to change the coils, I'll make another video on doing that. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get into my menu here, and I'm going to change this to power mode, 200 watts, and I'm going to lock that in. And what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and pull it off here. I'm going to take this, by the way, is a RDTA, rebuildable tank atomizer. Okay, the tank's down here, your wicks are up here, and yes, those wicks are beyond nasty. Okay, beyond nasty. So it's not totally out of juice, but that wick's so bad it's not worth messing with it. So I'm just I know you can't see that, but I was just rinsing this off is all I was doing. Not a big deal. And then here we've got wick in there that we need to get out. So I take a screwdriver and I pull the wick, do both sides, and see, this wick was in horrid shape. Horrid shape. See, that side just broke. I was trying to fix the wicks the other day in it, and I noticed that one side was pretty well completely broke. Let me throw that away. Okay, now I'm just going to turn on hot water here, and I'm just going to rinse off my screwdriver. Just going to rinse it real good. Hot water. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, set that down for a second, dry my hands, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of toilet paper so that I can clean the top of my e-cig, my mod I should say, my e-cig mod, and get down in there where the connector is good. Okay, and then on the RDTA, I'm just going to dry off the bottom of it where that contact is, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to screw it back in here. Remember, I changed it to power mode. It was on temperature control, now it's on power mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat these up to clean the coils off. See? I'm going to turn on the water. And do it again. Okay. Now, this time, what I'm going to do is take ceramic tweezers that I did leave in the other room because I'm bright like that. I'm going to take ceramic tweezers. I'm going to heat that coil up again, red hot, and I'm going to squeeze it together with my ceramic tweezers. Sorry for the shaky hands. Just like that. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Just like that. Now, I'm going to clean them one more time. And then, something I usually do, just out of habit more than anything, I'll just take my screwdriver and I'll just run it across the coils, like scratching the top of the coils essentially. It will help in not having hot spots in the coils, so that's why I just initially do it. So they should fire about the same, and they do, so that's good. That's good right there. She's clean. She's ready to have new wick put in her. So I will see you over at the table and we will do that. Okay, first off we need some cotton wicking material, and I buy this by the bag, and I just big bag of it, and then what I do is I usually keep like 2 sheets. When I put more in here, I'll put like 2 sheets of it in there, and then I put it with my I've got a little case that I carry e-cig stuff in. Anyway, so what size you want your wick is going to depend on personal preference, the particular tank, atomizer, whatever it is you're using. There's a number of factors on, you know, how big your coils are and all that as to how wide you're going to want to cut that. So you may or may not want it that wide. I'm going to throw the rest. There's not enough there for another wick. So, and what I'm going to do, this wasn't quite folded in half, so what I'm going to do, keeping that in mind, I'm going to cut this about there, and then there's going to be a layer on both sides of this cotton that I want to remove, and it's going to be just like a thin layer, and it looks like that right there, and that's going to be on both sides of it. You want to make sure to remove that. Same with this piece. I don't know what'll happen if you don't remove it. I never tried not removing it, and ever since I started doing this, everybody I knew was doing that. So anyway, then what I do is I get it in my fingers and I twist just the tip of it. You don't want to do a bunch, just the tip. And then what I will do is I will feed it through like that. My hands are shaky, I apologize for that. Believe me, it sucks living with them. Okay, so it's wanting to be a pain. Let me help this through with the screwdriver. I'm just going to help it through. Most of the times I'll just back it back out and start over. But this was, it's right there. I just can't grab the bulk of it. There we go. So, there we go. I'm going to do the same with this piece here. I'm going to take the end of it. That one might be a little smaller. Take the end of it. Twist it up. Hopefully this one will go in easier. Okay, so I got it pulled in, and now what we're going to do is we've got this side here that was twisted up, so I'm going to cut some off of that, pretty much the length that I had twisted up, and I'm going to do the same thing over here, pretty much going to cut the length off that I had twisted up. Okay, there you go. Those are wicks, and then what I'm going to do is take the screwdriver here, and there's holes down in there, and so I don't know if you'd be able to see any of them. Let me get this one in there and see if I can get it angled right so you can see it. There's a hole down in there, right there, and same is true here. You just stuff down the cotton into the hole. Not rocket science or anything. Same with the other wick. Okay, let me pull it up so I can see what I'm doing here. And then I always go in and make sure, I'm trying to get it on camera for you, make sure that, you know, the cotton, I go in from the inside here and I make sure that that cotton's pushed down in there good. I do it on both sides. I'm going to do it again off off camera because I can't hold it at that angle and see what I'm doing to do what I'm talking about. But I'm just making sure that I got the wick material, all the wick material down into the hole. So, and it looks like I'm pretty good there. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can see it down inside there. You can see some of the wick material inside there. So, okay, now I'm going to take my bottle of juice and give it a shake. Remember, it's still on power mode. Okay, that's important to remember that. And I'm just going to fill the tank. That's all I'm doing. Tank's good and full. Now I'm going to start going in and getting these coils wet with juice. I'm going to do that to both sides. Okay. Now go back to this side and do it again. Same with this side, go back and do it again. And then what I'm going to do is squeeze some into the bottom there, because what I'm doing is I'm priming these wicks, okay? See, I'm just touching it for just a second. Just heating it up. All I'm trying to do is get the cotton warm so it starts sucking up the e-liquid so you don't get a burnt taste. That's how I prevent from getting a burnt taste. And I'm over full, to be honest. Massively over full. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if you can see the liquid in there, I have overfilled it. But not a problem. I'm just going to, there's O-rings on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top down on here, and I'll just make sure that I don't tilt it at all. To me, all that tells me is that I'm not going to have to worry about burning this cotton, because it's going to stay plenty wet until it gets good and saturated. So, what I'm going to do is get back into my modes here. And is that, yep, that's stainless steel. So I'm in that mode. I'm going to hold the button down. And 430, I'll leave it there for now, and we'll see. Let me try taking a vape. Yep. Good to go. So that's how I rewick my e-cig. So that's simple / hard, however you want to look at it. So anyway, it's a great prepping item. Vaping, if you're a smoker or you're a vapor, make sure you have the skills, make sure you have the stuff available to be able to do this, to be able to make your own coils, your own wicks, and your own juice. I'm telling you, it's a game changer for the nicotine addict, for SHTF. It's why I got involved in vaping to begin with. It wasn't about my health. It absolutely wasn't. It was about prepping. When I got into it, I don't know, it's been a long time ago, around 2011, 2010, 2011, something like that, when I got into vaping initially. And then I totally quit smoking in 2013 and just vaped. So, been just vaping since 2013. Been making all my own juice, my own wicks, my own coils. So, it's the way to go. I spend probably $60 or something a year on my habit. That's a year. So, yeah, that's why I do it. Anyway, I hope you learned something. Shalom.